There is an uneasy calm here in Nagaland. People are anxious and running out of patience. A question everyone wants to ask, but no one wants to answer. When will the vexed Naga political issue be resolved?
The central government is holding two separate parleys with the NNCNIM since 1997 and the NNPGs since 2017. It has been over 2 decades that the Naga Peace Talks has been going on, and over the years there has been several developments. However, a solution is yet to see the light of the day.
While there is hope that an honourable solution will be found, the delay is frustrating. On August 3, 2015, nearly 18 years after the government's ceasefire deal with Naga groups, the historic framework agreement based on the unique history of the Nagas was signed between the Government of India and the National Socialist Council of Nagaland, EastMojo faction. This was done in the presence of the Prime Minister of India, Narendra Modi, and General Secretary of NSCN-IM, Twingaling Muiva, amid much fanfare. However, any development which may lead to a final solution has not taken place since. Civil society groups in the state have also been vocal about the need for a conclusive solution for the Nagas.
Well, the reality of this Naga situation at the present moment is that it's very critical. There is a simmering undercurrent of tension, differences, which is ongoing, and we hope in the coming days we will be able to, talk, sit across the table as Nagas and finally resolve it, whatever differences, especially whatever differences the Naga political groups have, as well as, of course, the Naga public and the overground population has.
The Naga Students' Federation on June 12 made a strong pitch through the People's Rally Call for Peace, staged at the Jantar Mantar in New Delhi, for an early, inclusive and honourable solution to the Indo-Naga political issue. NSF President Kegwayun Tep believes that the sincerity and the commitment of the central government is not on par with the expectations of the Naga people.
If we look at the current scenario of the Indo-Naga political issue, as far as Naga Students Federation is concerned and the Naga people is concerned, as expected, things are not coming, and we feel that government of India is rolling back, and their sincerity and their commitment is not as per the expectation of the people. Until and unless something work out between the two people, between the two entities, we see no hope, and we foresee that until and unless certain things are negotiated and it is in place, we see a very negative outcome.
According to peace activist Niketu Iralu, the issue is much bigger than the people of Nagaland themselves realize.
Everything coming to us is something huge and new. We have never faced them before. because the British were the first to come to us. Nobody came to us, you see, that's a very important point. Our homes came through us, through North Nagaland, Konyak land, and never came here. And therefore we have this baffling crisis. And therefore the tension, people just don't know how to articulate, explain the tension. And therefore I believe that the present generation of Nagas must think very carefully and say that this animal is more than we realize. This thing, monster, the elephant in the house, in the room, is more than we realize. Because it's a very important crisis.
So far, there have been close to 100 rounds of talks. While both the government and Naga groups said the talks concluded successfully on the government's deadline of October 31, 2019, no accord has been signed yet. It is believed that the enthusiasm with which the framework agreement was announced led to unreasonable expectations of an imminent accord. The peace talks are now stuck with 5 demands put forward by the NSA and IA, which include a bicameral assembly with at least 40 nominated members representing the different tribes, absorption of cadres as local armed forces or in the Indian paramilitary, setting up autonomous councils in Naga-dominated areas, especially in Arunachal Pradesh and Manipur, the use of the Naga flag for at least customary events, and a separate constitution for Nagaland, locally known as Yazabo. This is despite having the Article 371A in place, which states that no Act of Parliament shall apply to the state of Nagaland in respect of the religious or social practices of the Nagas, its customary law and procedure, administration of civil and criminal justice involving decisions according to Naga customary law, and ownership and transfer of land and its resources. It shall apply to Nagaland only after the State Assembly passes a resolution to do so. However, panic buttons went off after the abrogation of Article 370 from Jammu and Kashmir.
जिस दिन भारत के राष्ट्रपति द्वारा इस घोषणा पर हस्ताक्षर किए जाएंगे और इसे सरकारी गैजेट में प्रकाशित किया जाएगा, उस दिन से अनुच्छेद 370 के सभी खंड लागू नहीं होंगे, सिवाय खंड 1 के नामक तदनुसार पढ़ा जाएगा.
Many believe that if the special status to Jammu and Kashmir could be withdrawn, then what is the guarantee that the special status of Nagaland and other states in Northeast India won't be revoked?
A constitution which we are looking ahead to protect Naga practices, basic Naga laws, our land and resources, which actually Article 371A does not fully cover nor protect, as we have seen in the oil issue, which reached the Supreme Court, So I think in the long run, it will augur well for the Naga people. And the Government of India hopefully is again reassessing its position, hopefully, on the peace talks. And it is important that conversation continues, because here we have a young generation where we really need to think of peace, we need to think in terms of development and a better future for them. We cannot go on, continuously like this. I think we've had enough of war and bloodshed.
Ki Ilu Endang, General Secretary of the Naga Ho, an apex body of Naga tribes, believes that the basis of the negotiations is the Naga flag and constitution.
We are placed under India neither by conquest nor by consent. We believe that we are placed under India through forceful occupation. So we have every right to talk about our constitution, about our flag. And if that is not the basis, what is the need for us to go for negotiation? What is the need for the Naga people to have dialogue in the highest prime minister level? So So our by nature, but by the very foundation of our Naga political movement, is totally different from others. We cannot be placed under sectoral area, autonomous councils by granting. That is not the objective of Naga political movement.
S.C. Jamir, former Nagaland Chief Minister and the only surviving signatory of the 16-point agreement, which led to the formation of the state in 1963, says there is no point in demanding a separate flag and constitution, and the same can be done democratically once a settlement is reached.
Whatever they have agreed, if some of them are to be incorporated, it has to be incorporated in the Constitution of India through Parliament. And therefore, the question of separate constitution, I don't understand. Because the regional council or territorial council agreed upon for Manipur Naga area as well as Arunachal. This is part of the schedule of the Constitution of India, like Darjeeling model, like Bodoland model, like Gorby model. So once they have accepted that kind of arrangement, the question of separate constitution do not arise, in my opinion. Whether it is flag or constitution, even after settlement, it can be, I think, taken up democratically. Because the sum and substance of any agreement should be the autonomy whereby the people can function freely, effectively, transparently.
In Northeast India, the church plays a very important role, that of a bridge between peace and politics. In Nagaland, too, the church is a keen observer and plays a proactive role in most political developments. It has also been vocal on the need for conclusive peace talks. Nagaland Baptist Church Council, the apex body of all Baptist churches in Nagaland, prays that the stakeholders will be able to eradicate the differences and reach a final solution at the earliest.
When a ceasefire was signed in 1997 until now, that's a long time already. And we hope that, we thought that something is coming soon, but it's now 25 years over. So we hope that our people, our leaders, will be sensitive to the hope and aspiration of the past, even the present generation, and then bring something that is good for the people, and when we say the people, the Nagas in general, not just only the Nagas here in Nagaland, because one of the main contention or the problem is Nagas of Nagaland and Nagas outside of Nagaland. But the church is for inclusive solution, and we continue to advocate that one. So that's what the church has been praying for, and we hope that our people will come together and then have their differences hammered out.
It is not the interminable discussions alone that have been taking a toll on the people of Nagaland, but also the rampant extortion by the NSCN factions. The practice, which began as a way of providing donations to various groups in the late 80s, took the shape of extortion over the years of its existence. In a recent step to curb the illegal collection of taxes from vehicles, the Nagaland police ordered the closure of all check gates except those at the interstate borders. As many as 21 of the state's 34 check gates were removed last month. Though the step earned much appreciation from various corners. Many say that collection of taxes from vehicles was only the tip of the iceberg. Vikosai Nekha, president of Tenyimi Union Dimapur, an apex body of the Tenyimi tribes in Nagaland, says that even though vehicles can only ply smoothly through the check gates, extortioners have come up with new methods to collect money.
They are money mongers, money seekers. So they are so expert. You and me, we as a mere public will not know all their tricks. But what at least I know is that they are using some self-styled organization, NGOs, they called associations, and they are getting all the information. So now what is happening in Dimapur, though there is no obstruction in the gate, collection in the gate, the vehicles enter smoothly, but as they reach the godown, now police is not guarding all the godowns in Dimapur, in the market. The police cannot do that also. We cannot blame the police also. Now once the vehicle entered the godown, the so-called undergrounds, the so-called Naga nationalists, they will run, they will look out for all those godowns, and they are collecting.
According to Dr. Kekuga Muru, chairman of Confederation of Nagaland Chamber of Commerce and Industry, there has been a sharp increase in underground factions in the past few years, which has not only increased cases of extortion, but also the prices of all commodities in Nagaland.
We like it or not, the factions has been, growing over the last few years since the signing of ceasefire, and then framework, and then agreed position. So the factions keep growing, and then all the faction has to survive. So ultimately there is a burden on the business community and the public. So it's definitely hampering the profitability. The market rates are shooting up comparative to any other states of Northeast. So in a way it is affecting both the consumers and business community. So at large it is affecting the entire population.
Along with the fear, it is also the Naga sentiment that turns the people towards paying such taxes. The business community, too, is eyeing an early solution that will lead to the revocation of such taxes. The election to the 60-member Nagaland Assembly is expected to be held in February to March next year, and the political parties are expected to be keen on resolving the vexed issue before going to polls. Many believe that the issue has been used as a political agenda, but then action didn't follow the promises made to the people.
Well, I think there is nothing wrong for politicians to use the Naga political issue as one of their platform, or let us say the party stands for this. I think there is nothing wrong. But what I have observed is, once election is over, for the next 3-4 years to come, they forget. And then pick up again the issue just a year before the election. I think that is unfair.
I feel, a guy like me won't be able to play the politics they are playing. But those who are trying to do something, they are at the mercy of the size of the crisis. India can very calmly operate from the Home Ministry in Delhi and the Defense Ministry and the intelligence agencies and say, how do we put this forward? How do we draw this? That's how governments function to solve crises. Here, I feel for our leaders overground and underground. They're interchangeable. Yeah, they are our leaders trying to respond to the crisis, and they are reduced to, helpless victims of the crisis. They end up responding for what will happen to our party in the next election, What will happen to our faction, our tribe? What will happen to us because we are not part of Nagaland? We are in Manipur. Can we go on without any change in our status? Not to speak of Arunachal, Assam, they are a bit less. The crisis is a bit less.
Nagaland Pradesh Congress Committee President blamed the BJP for deliberately not bringing the peace talks to a conclusion for their benefit.
We cannot trust BJP. They tell something, they do the other thing. In 2018, in the election campaign, they said, election for solution. What they have done? Nothing. 2015, 3rd March, framework agreement was signed in front of Prime Minister in his official residence, and they shook hand. Prime Minister of India, nation's Prime Minister, shook hand with Moiva, and they signed the agreement. After signing the agreement, now that has been thrown in the dustbin. It is not honored. Then interlocutor has signed with the 6 NNPG groups. Then that also has been kept in pending. Now, after that, both NACN-IM and all groups were brought together on October 31st there, 2019, all on board, and they have concluded. They said talk is concluded. Even today, the A.K. Mishra, who is representing the government of India, he says that there is no more talk. But they told us that it will be done after general election in Nagaland. After that, they said Lok Sabha. After that, Assam election. After that, Manipur election. After that, president election. After that, maybe state election, and so on, many elections.
However, Nagaland legislator and BJP's national spokesperson, Monlumo Kikon, does not agree with the Congress leader's stance. He says that election was never a part of the Naga political issue for the BJP.
The BJP-led government in the center is very serious about the Naga issue, and the ultimate objective of the Prime Minister and the Government of India is to resolve the long-standing issue. It is never with the idea of having this objective become part of the election slogan. You would see that the sincerity of the Prime Minister has always been there right from the beginning. And when the framework agreement was signed and then the agreed position was signed, I think it is clearly with the mind to give a closure and ensure that peaceful settlement is brought about, so that the long-standing issue may be addressed positively. Has been at the background of the entire action of the Government of India.
The peace talks is now stuck with the NACN-IM demanding a separate flag and constitution. We even tried to speak to the NACN-IM, but all our efforts turned futile. Although there are disagreements between the parties involved in the peace talks, but the people of Nagaland are voicing only one opinion, and that is to reach a solution at the earliest.
We can say that peace is in our land, but like you said, there are instances where we cannot rule out, and we don't want this to continue. And to stop this, solution is the only answer.
We will definitely apprise, and then we definitely urge all the stakeholders, including the Naga political groups, be it from any faction or negotiating parties, the state government, the churches, the civil society, and the public should all put together, put our heads together and go for an early solution.
Naga issue is only one, and the solution can be settled only between Naga people and Government of India. So there is only one solution. There cannot be two solutions or three solutions. So we have only one solution to settle, and for which we cannot say right or wrong, but we want to ensure that things are on the right track.
It really is in the court of the Government of India It is not in the court of the Naga political groups. If the government of India wants peace for the Nagas, I think they will hasten up the process, especially before the next elections. Otherwise, we really don't know what's going to happen in the next elections.
For something positive to evolve, the truth is we must come together. We must listen to each other. And then even if it requires, agree to disagree.
Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to EastMojo. For any queries, put them down in the comments section below and press on the bell icon for notifications.